Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTbase.com. Welcome to this week's Commitments of Traders review. Today we're going to have a look at the 20th COT report of 2013. And as usual, we're going to start off with the changes in commercials position. So here we go. As you can see, we've still got coffee on top with 36% change in commercials positions this time. We've talked about coffee the last couple of weeks now. There were pretty large changes every week basically. This time commercials have gone back to net long territories, and of course, as they did, large speculators went down to net short territories. Okay, so the question is really, are we going to see prices rally from here? We've been talking about that for the past couple of months now. The fact that commercials are net long suggests that in the medium to long term, we're going to see higher prices. Actually, on this 5 years chart, the last time we had such a case was over here back in 2009, and when commercials went back to net short territories, as they did, prices started to rally. Okay, so that's what we're going to be expecting from coffee, but it may easily not happen right now. We may need to wait for a couple of more weeks. The next market we're going to have a look at is the Chicago wheat. We have a 24% change over there in commercials positions, a much larger change size than average. Looking at similar large changes in the past, this may have been the last time we had such large changes. Prices did not react. We have an opposite signal change over here, a really large one. What it could do, basically just stop this rally free week, but really couldn't affect prices anymore. Opening a 5-year chart, let's have a look at the extreme in this market. Do we have one? Well, actually, we're getting closer and closer to one. You can see that at this roughly 80,000 contracts net long level in case of commercials. That's a really bullish signal. So the first time on this 5 years chart they were at such level, there was two, actually for quite some time, that signaled a bottom in prices. Again, another really beautiful example. The last time when they were at such levels, again, happened just before we had this beautiful rally in prices. But as you can see, the commercials were at such levels for quite some time before we've seen prices go skyrocket from there. So it doesn't mean that we're going to see prices rally right away. Of course, it may happen. Anything may happen. But just a warning that looking at the last two cases in wheat, we had to wait for a few months before prices reacted to that signal. The next market we're going to have a look at is the New Zealand dollar. We have a 22% change over there in commercials positions, a 34% change in small speculators positions. Okay, these can be considered bullish signals, but let's have a look at the 5-year chart and see whether we have an extreme or not. Well, we can talk about a relative one, but one thing's for sure, we are not far away from a much larger COT extreme that in this case was a really nice bearish signal. So we can see prices declining from these levels, and it may easily continue until we reach, in case of commercials, net zero, above net zero levels, let's say to 8,000, 10,000 contracts, net long levels. If you look at this chart over here, I'm going to show you these cases whenever commercials were at such levels. You can see that these beautifully signaled bottoms in prices. We're not there yet. We're not at that level, and that could easily mean that we're going to see prices continue their decline for a few more weeks. Of course, the other thing might happen. We may see prices rally from here. If you look at the last case when commercials were at this roughly 15,000 contracts net short level, that was over here. That's a relative extreme. We definitely can't talk about a huge one. Still, prices reacted to it and rallied for a few weeks. Okay, let's move on to large speculators COT extreme. Here we go. Rough rice, heating oil, and British pound on top. Let's open rough rice first. We have an all-time COT extreme in large speculators positions. We've talked about rough rice for a couple of times. We've talked about it, but I believe it was because of the change sizes that we had in rough rice. We actually had a beautiful change over here, and that really was an effective signal, and since then prices were rallying. Let's open a 5-year chart and see this extreme. Here we go. You can see commercials are and large speculators are in extreme territories. And whenever they were at such levels, you can see that prices reacted, and you can see the bottoms corresponding to these really extreme levels. So we're there now, even though prices started to rally basically the last couple of days, weeks. This may easily continue in the upcoming weeks. The next market, heating oil, all-time signal in large speculators positions. So we're going to open the 5-year chart. It's more visible on that one. Here we go. Well, on this 5-year chart, you can't really see commercials at this level. So it's really an all-time COT extreme on this perspective. The last larger extreme happened over here in 2012. Again, a beautiful example how COT extremes can signal bottoms and tops in prices. And a few more examples I'm showing you over here. So again, another really nice bullish signal in heating oil. British pound, our last market for this week. We have a all-time signal both in commercials and large speculators positions. We're going to talk about commercials. You can see them over here at above 100,000 contracts net long levels. And whenever they were at such extreme levels, you can see again a beautiful example that prices react, reaching a bottom and then turning their direction and going upwards. So we may easily expect this to happen in British pound. Okay, that's all for this week. If you would like to have a look at other COT charts, you can do so at our COT charts page. If you would like to have a more in-depth and detailed COT analysis, then check out our COT analysis page under a subscription service at cotbase.com, where you can add other really useful functions to your table, look at new COT report types, data types, all sorts of really useful functions that I recommend to you. I hope you enjoyed my review, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.